What's happening? Facts from the Ghost. Today's segment is going to detail how I feel about the Cavs' chances of winning Game 5. To be honest, and when I woke up this morning, I've been hearing, various podcasts talk about why the Cavs lost Game 4. And, there's been so many different podcasters using various different adjectives, various different types of big words. And again, for me, they're trying to compartmentalize reasons why they lost Game 4. And again, for me, in my opinion, I hope I'm not coming off unpleasant when I'm saying these words I'm going to say. Well, actually, when I'm doing my little soliloquy as far as their chance of winning Game 5, actually, this segment is going to detail how I feel, basically what's to talk about. I mean, the Cavs are showing you who they are. Like the old saying goes, if a person show you who they are the first time, believe it. And the Cavs are clearly showing you that they are a soft team. Now, these podcasts I've been watching, I would like to think if I was on that panel, having these type of discussions about the Cavs and why they lost Game 4, I would just ask them, did you actually think the Cavs were a soft team going in to this the series versus the Knicks? Did you think they were a soft team? That's the question I would ask. And, if anyone of them said yes, then I would be like, okay, you're correct. You're correct now. But going in, I didn't think they were a soft team. And I don't think most Cavs fans, most analysts didn't think the Cavs were a soft team. But the obvious is glaring. The Cavs are a soft team. There's no way around this. Like I said, I don't know why this is such a shock to Cavs fans. Or, just Cavs fans. Or, a shock to some of the analysts. Or a shock to some of these podcasters up there in Cleveland. I don't know why this is such, a shock value-like moment for them. Because, again, they somewhat showed you what they were in the first game of the series when they lost 101-97. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell had 38 points. Okay, but at the end of the day, in the fourth quarter, what did Donovan Mitchell do? He took a few bad shots, and right when the team actually needed a spark from him in that particular part of the game, gosh, I want to keep going back to the fact, I know they were down. I want to say they were down. They had took a lead, right? I think they took a lead 93-92 or something. I believe they took that lead, or was it 92? I think it was 93-92 the Cavs took the lead in the fourth quarter. But then the Knicks came right back down. They scored, took the lead, regained the lead. But then Donovan Mitchell comes down and he shoots an ill-advised three. And it's like, why would you take that shot? Like, dang, I think there was like 2 or 3 nicks in his face when he shot it, but it was a quick shot. That's what made the shot that much more absurd, if that makes sense. But, okay, I get it. Game 1, okay, we'll chalk it up as, okay, the Cavs will figure out in Game 2, and, they'll be prepared to play Game 2. Okay, that's what took place. They won Game 2. Okay. And, yeah, you could say Darius Garland in Game 1, he had 17, but again, he had more turnovers than assists. He had 5. And I think he had 3 assists. 17 points, 3 assists. And I think he had 5 turnovers in the first game. Now, the second game, he had 32. And I think he had 7 assists. I could be wrong about that. Keep in mind, today's segment, I could be not factually correct what I'm saying. I'm just, like I said, I'm basically tired of doing notes on this. I've already did podcasts on why the Cavs, lost Game 1, why they won Game 2, and then, how they lost Game 3, and then lost Game 4 yesterday. I already did podcasts, I already did segments on reasons
on my reasons why they, lost these games and won these games, but ultimately ended up losing 3 games in the series so far, and they down 3-1. I've already did podcast segments on this, so I really don't even want to get back into the stats. So, again, I want to focus more on the Cavs just being a soft team. That's what this comes down to. There's no way around it, like I said before. There's no way around this. The Cavs are a soft team. They're showing you that they're a soft team with their play on the court. And how the coaching staff is not making the proper adjustments. Yeah, with J.B. Bickerstaff being the head coach, he's not making the proper adjustments. I get, and someone made the comment about, why are we putting this on J.B. Bickerstaff? He has nothing to work with. We don't have a bench. Someone said that the Cavs have a bunch of D-League players and YMCA players. That could be true, but again, I spoke on Tom Thibodeau yesterday. Look at Tom Thibodeau. You seeing the difference between good coach in J.B. Bickerstaff and to a great coach in Tom Thibodeau. You're seeing the difference. That's obvious. That's something we shouldn't even discuss. J.B. Bickerstaff getting out coached by Tom Thibodeau is so obvious. I think a third grader can watch the game and figure that out. So, I mean, that'll tell you something. So, I mean, come on. We don't even really have to talk about that. But if we're going to talk about it, well, the difference between good coaching and great coaching is Tom Thibodeau has installed a mindset in the Knicks that is being on display and reasons why they're winning this series, leading this series 3-1. All Tom Thibodeau is doing, in my opinion, I could be wrong, because I don't know exactly what he's saying to these players, to the Knicks, what he's saying to his team as regard to the New York Knicks. I don't know what he's saying to them in the locker room or, meeting rooms and so forth. I don't know what he's saying to them, to be honest. I'm not in these rooms. I'm not in the locker room, so I don't know what he's saying, but I like to do the hypothetical and think he would say something like this. Hey, yeah, we know on talent, on paper, they're the most talented team. But can they handle the physicality? Can they handle getting punched in their mouth? Can they handle you, Mitchell Robinson, throwing a big body on Jared Allen? Or you, Julius Randle, stepping out, hitting threes occasionally, but also being aggressive as far as in attacking the basket and also putting a body on Evan Mobley, making sure he's not in position to get a defensive rebound where we can accumulate all these, offensive rebounds. Because this is why the Knicks, this is another reason why the Knicks winning the series. They're winning the series because they're just clearly killing the Cavs on the boards, whether it be defensive or offensive rebound. But the thing is, they're out hustling the Cavs. They're just out thinking them, and they're also getting they're all the 50-50 balls for the most part. So you have to understand, just because you're talented playing basketball, that does not necessarily mean you can play on the NBA level, if it makes sense. I like to think this is always going to be this is always going to be relevant in the NBA, because again, I know today's NBA is a much more faster, is played at a much more faster pace, if that makes sense. The emphasis is put on the 3-point shot and so forth. Yeah, I get all that. The court is spread, it's spread. It's spread out, literally. And the traditional center it's like, I don't want to say he's obsolete, but it depends on the team's need, if it makes sense. And I like to think most teams don't need the type of centers that the Knicks have in Mitchell Robinson and that Isaiah Jones. I can't pronounce his last name, but I want to say Hattenstead or something like that. I think that's his last name, but I could be wrong about that. But I like to think most teams in the NBA, and I could be wrong about this too, but I like to think most teams in the NBA don't have a need for the type of centers the Knicks have. But okay. But I just think all time Thibodeau is doing is he's in these dudes' head. He's constantly telling them, keep punching the Cavs in the mouth. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to fight back. Keep out hustling them. Keep getting these 50-50 balls. Keep keep your foot on the pedal. And just attack them. Literally attack them. Every chance you get, attack them. Punch them in their mouth. Get on the offensive glass. When we miss a shot, make sure you keep a body on Jared Allen and Evan Mobley so that they won't be able to get the defensive rebound. So I mean that's all they're doing. They're out playing the Cavs. They're out hustling the Cavs. They're getting the majority of the 50-50 balls. They're getting most of the rebounds, whether it be defense or offense. That's all the Knicks are doing. They ain't doing anything special. They're not doing anything special because to me, the Knicks are a good team, but you really think the Knicks gonna win the NBA championship this year? I'll tell you what, if they do, I start thinking the NBA is fixed. If the Knicks win the NBA championship this year. I understand New York is the mecca of basketball. I get it. I get if the Knicks win the NBA championship year, that's good for TV. The ratings will skyrocket. Merchandise will surge at the highest level as far as generate money. I understand that the Knicks winning an NBA championship will basically just generate a lot of money for people who are associated with this team, if that makes sense. Period. So, like I said, if the Knicks win the championship this year, I think basketball is fake. I'm just gonna go on record and say that. But no, the Knicks, in my opinion, they're not good enough to win the NBA championship. No, they're not. I think once they once they advance to the second round, then the Knicks will be exposed. If that makes sense, just like the Cavs are being exposed in this first round. Now, again, like I said, for me, what's to really talk about? The obvious is the Cavs are soft. I know I keep going back to that, but they are soft. Like I said, the coaching staff is not making the proper adjustments regarding J.D. Bickerstaff being the head coach. This is his job. Your job is to prepare your team and have them ready to just go to war. So what if you don't have, you don't have a bench all like that? I've seen great coaches take benches that look like what dude said prior, YMC D-League players. I've seen great coaches take those type of players and have them play at the highest level. So I mean, come on, man. Come on. What's that? Heart, determination, and that mentality, that dog-like mentality. If you bring all this to the game, it will always win over a person's skill set, their talent. This will almost win every time. And like I said, I really believe that that's the reason why the Cavs